spatial positioning and layout of the campus can be identified as very spacious and free, with parking lots that are dispersed around the northern parts of campus. There are numerous bike racks around campus and throughout the buildings. On top of that, the campus is next to numerous freeways such as the 405 and the 22.
Campus layout consists of upper and lower campus. Smack in the middle of CSULB is the USU, where many students go for entertainment. The lower campus, there is the iconic Walter Pyramid, where it hosts multiple sport games. Fun fact, Space Jam was filmed in the Walter Pyramid. On upper campus, the library is probably the most congregated place on campus where students at least visit a couple of times to either study, print papers, or borrow books.
Architectures are laid out throughout the campus, such as in front of roadbacks and in front of buildings.
As for living spaces, the areas around the campus offer many housing and apartment options for renting for commuter students. Dorming is also available for students to take advantage of to make life more convenient for them.
There are also fraternities and sororities that commuters can join. They are nearby the education centers, and there's also a street which actually leads into more the center of campus so that commuters would be able to access it. There are clubs nearby the education centers, which makes sure that all students would be able to access it more freely. There's also nightlife around Long Beach, which contributes to the commuter culture. Now, within the library, students can actually study with friends and contribute to study culture, as it's nearby, very nearby, education centers, and also has its own dedicated parking lot nearby, but is only open after 5:30. Now, looking at the broader needs and priorities of the university, the economic exchange, and advertisement, there needs to be a higher quality of food, more parking space, and higher transportation quantity.
Patterns of social demographics and interactions. We see the people on campus interacting with each other as they commute into CSULB. Commuting students tend to not stay as late as they have to still commute home, and we see this carry over into their interactions with professors. There are a large percentage of Hispanics, Black, White, and Asian.
Since commuting students would not have the time to go home whenever their classes have a break in between them, we see centers meant to quickly aid students between classes or general entertainment arise. Students may spend time in the library studying between classes in the Student Union building, which has food courts and other entertainment. In the Horn Center, getting help or using the provided computers or other such places which a student could spend time in between classes.
Staff does not hang around where the students do, except in the food courts, of course. Because commuting students are pulling from a wide area around the campus, we see students with so many different backgrounds and preferences and cultures. Many clubs have risen in response to these different cultures, preferences, and ethnic backgrounds.
Tying in with pulling many different cultures and ideologies together, we see a more gender-inclusive campus with clubs and outdoor booths to lend support for students and raise awareness. There are also signs for events like the recently passed Queer Prom and posters advocating acceptance. This stands as evidence for the steps that CSULB is taking to be more accepting and conscientious towards the LGBT community.
Money exchanges occur at places to eat like the Nugget, the USU, where Pollo Loco, Carl's Jr., Subway, and other fast food chains are located. Money is also exchanged in Brethren Hall. There you can pay for your school classes and parking debts. Located a couple hundred feet away from there are two of many convenience stores located around campus. These stores serve for quick on-the-go needs, school supplies. For example, scantrons, snacks, water, pencils, etc.
Lastly, at the school's bookstore, not only can you buy books, but IDs as well in case you have lost it, and clothing accessories with logos of CSULB. The business we decided to visit was Starbucks. Even though this is a Starbucks store, it is still privately owned and ran by the school. The majority of workers are students. Students are the majority of customers, followed by professors and staff. In observing the business, you can almost tell that all the students that made a purchase was to get a drink. And drinks from Starbucks cost around anywhere from $3 to $8 per drink. This means that students who purchase drinks 4 to 7 times a week are financially stable/comfortable with spending about $25 a week, on top of expenses such as gas or food, which nowadays is about the same price. For commuter students, you have to think about gas because you are constantly driving around, and if you are away from home, you have to think about food expenses as well.
In conclusion, the socioeconomic status of students allows them to buy Starbucks coffee 4 to 7 times a week. Some of these students may have enough revenue to afford the luxury of Starbucks coffee. Others who do not buy the coffee either cannot afford it or they wish not to drink coffee.
Taking a look at the educational environment of Cal State Long Beach, we see that the staff on campus try to make themselves available in the prime times when students are not in class and have not yet left campus. Now, staff and students both understand that either party may not be available at later times since they may be living far off campus, since our school's culture is more of a commuter campus culture.
In my Com 110 class, the technological resources include projector for instructor and personal computers for students if desired. The classroom is situated to be a big lecture hall setting with over 150 students approximately. It facilitates a more traditional lecture style of instruction. The instructor is very approachable, so it's very easy to interact with her. On top of that, the atmosphere is very casual.
History 101 is a critical thinking course. It takes place in a technological classroom where there are multiple computers. There's a center control console where the professor has the ability to control all the screens in the room, or the ability for the students to take control, and each individual table has the right to control the computers how they wish. The walls and tables are whiteboard material, which lead to group thinking.
Today, the opportunities for extracurricular interactions are clubs on the lawn. We observe the juggling club known as Beach Balls. This club is advertised on the lawn with a big sign stating their name as well as the times that they will meet on campus. This club is accessible to anyone. In fact, our group's own Jeremy is part of the club. There are many other ways in which to participate in cultural interactions at school. Some of these cultural activities driven by students are Greek life on campus as well as multicultural sports.
In observing Beach Ball's Juggling Club, we saw no cultural confrontations. It was only a bunch of people who were bonding together over juggling. Some of the people in the club don't even juggle. In fact, they just sit back, watch, and just hang out with the rest of the members. As for the community, depending on where you live, it would be difficult to participate in the club every day, especially the days that someone who lives miles and miles away does not have class in the university that day. Luckily, to join the club, you can just hang out whenever you have free time, go juggle or not, and it makes it more accessible to commuter students to join. This question is of two parts. The first one is how are we unique, while the second one is how do we maintain mainstream American culture and identity. So first things first, we as a university pull from a larger area because it's not just revolved around the campus, but Long Beach, the city in general. This is how we're unique. We are an actual city, whereas other universities are more focused around the university town. You have this small area. We also have more access to buses, bikes, and cars to fully experience the city and the surrounding area, in contrast to the university town, which has a university square. Now, in terms of American culture and identity, our campus allows us to have more freedom to go off campus and to actually experience more. We have the freedom of speech, as we see it with the protesters, and other such freedoms and liberties that are given to us as American citizens. You get more, whereas other colleges insist to stay on campus. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.